exciting.
All right, it looks like we're live. We're doing the first Facebook Live for Happy Valley Hustle right now, so this will eventually become an audio episode. But for now, we wanted to make this live. We wanted to encourage interactivity. I got two student entrepreneurs with me, Derek and Jobe, so really excited to talk to them. And I really hope that if you see this in your feed, that you take a second to watch it and think of a question, because that's the reason why we're doing this on Facebook Live. That's why I'm not just recording this and putting it out a month from now or anything like that, or just filming a video and putting it out later and putting it on YouTube. This is on Facebook Live so that we can really embrace that liveness, the live factor, and get some interactivity, because it's a really cool opportunity to be here at the Happy Valley LaunchBox right now. Awesome energy with this place, and a big part of that is that there are people following their dreams. What's the motto here? Turn your daydream into a reality.
Never,
or something
never
like that.
quit your daydream.
There you go. Never quit your daydream. So that's really what it's about. And when you're around people who've never quit their daydream, it's pretty exciting, and you really kind of can feed off that enthusiasm. So that's enough of my introduction, but I encourage you, if you're watching, please leave a comment, and I will read or please leave a question, and I will read it to our two entrepreneurs. But that's enough of me. Derek and Jobe, please introduce yourselves. We'll start right here with Jobe.
I'm Jobe Matula, and I've been an entrepreneur all my life, really, since I first got out of college with a degree in business management. And I've been running, up until now, I've been running a bioremediation waste environmental cleanup company, industrial cleaning, that type of thing. So this is a big change from a service-based business to a product-based business. But I'm excited about the change, because like this is much more scalable, So like in a service business, you can only go as big as you can make it, personally. And if you find other people that are like you, then you're really holding them back by not letting them go start their own business, So if you do find somebody that can duplicate what you do, either you pay them what you're making almost, which I couldn't afford, or you got to let them go, or you're holding them back, So that's why it's exciting to be into this business, because it's scalable, and it's exciting to be part of this program, Happy Valley Box Summer Founders Program. It's really an honor to be picked for this program, and I'm just happy to be here, and I feel very important that you're interviewing me right now.
I'm like, oh wow, we're about to be on a podcast. This is great.
I'm happy to help, Joe. Tell me a little bit about what your startup is. What idea got you into the Summer Founders Program?
Well, so we're all familiar with pets, even if you have one, or I'm sure you know someone that has one. And if you think about being a pet owner, one of the things that come to mind, besides, if you have a dog, cleaning up after the dog, or things like that, training and stuff like that, but something that every pet owner is familiar with, and even friends of pet owners are familiar with, is dogs getting into the trash. They make a mess. It's frustrating for the pet owner,
Your apartment stinks, all that.
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't realize, though, is how harmful it is for the pet themselves. So it really affects their long-term health and well-being. So what I did was that I invented a trash can, a new type of trash can. So right now, trash cans haven't changed for about 140 years, right? So 140 years ago, we started using pails, like metal pails, to store garbage in and take them outside to the garbage bin they used to have. Before that, most of the waste we had was reusable. We would burn it or we would reuse it. But then packaging came, and plastics and things like that we couldn't burn or reuse. So we started storing those in buckets, taking them outside to these trash bins. Well, the buckets haven't changed, right? So we just have fancy buckets now, with
Fancy
a pedal,
buckets.
A pedal and a lid,
One of my
But
friends
there's
has a
still
voice command one now.
Open. See, exactly. Does he have to plug it in?
Yeah, it's actually connected via Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
A trash can connected via Wi-Fi.
But,
White smart can, yeah.
So what I did was I I redesigned it because, right now, these trash cans aren't really functional. So the bottom's oftentimes smaller than the top, so it's prone to tipping. They're not cleanable to 2 to 3 feet deep. So if you're like my wife, you have to go and you have to take the can outside with a hose or put it in the tub and in the shower to clean it. So it's not very functional either. So everybody's familiar with that thing, the bag getting too full and you have to grab it with your legs and really struggle getting that bag out of that. It's just
Maybe
it's
a rib,
just
so that,
yeah, it's just a poor design. So what I did, I basically redesigned that, got rid of the bucket concept altogether. So I flipped the trash can upside down, basically. So imagine, if you will, like a cone, with the bottom is wider than the top. So, but now if your bag is full, you tie it up, you can't get that thing out the top because the top is smaller than the bottom, right? So I added a base to it. So now to empty your trash, you tie your bag up like you normally would, but instead of lifting the bag, you just lift the lid. You just lift the body from the base. Put it down, your bag sitting there tied up, nice and neat, and don't have to lift. It's cleanable, the base, which will catch all the leakage and all that. It fits in the
There's gonna be leakage.
Yeah, it fits in the dishwasher. The lid fits in the dishwasher. So, and the body's easily wiped out because you can access it from the top and the bottom. So it's just cleanable. It's just a better design. It uses 90% of the bag's capacity. So if you're like my mom was, when you take the bag out, you've got like all this room at the back. So my mom's like, you better not. You better not take that outside. You put that right beside the trash can until it's full, right? So so you don't have that problem with my can. So you empty the trash less. It's more environmentally friendly. We're talking less plastic in the landfills. We're talking about more time that you have because you don't have to spend that time wrestling and emptying trash as often or as frequently as you would any other time. And you're just looking at a more sanitary condition in your kitchen as well. So I found this little niche in the pet area, in the pet market, because not a lot of people know that there is no greater threat to a pet's health than household garbage. I mean, onions break down red blood cells, grapes cause kidney damage. And everybody knows about chocolate and things like that, but these are some of the things that people don't know about. Then, God forbid, you throw away like a cleaning, like a bottle of bleach that your dog just wants to chew on, something like that. Or, God forbid, even your husband comes in from the garage with, an empty bottle of antifreeze in the wintertime, throws that in there, they die, all the dogs all the time. That's sweet. So they start chewing on that, and then, so your garbage is very important for a pet owner. So, and they're solving the problem now in various different ways. But what I did was I added a very unique locking lid to my can that I'm able to because it's a multi-sectional design, So the can locks in a way that, like a pill bottle. You would have to push down and turn a quarter turn to release the lid, something a pet would never be able to do. And at the same time, there is a hole at the top that has a bar going across that allows you to throw away normal everyday waste without having to take the lid off every time. So you could throw trash, garbage, little you can't just, if you have a gallon jug or anything that size, then you would have to take the lid off. But you can use and the bar that goes across the lid at the top will virtually tip proof. So unless there's some kind of friction on the ground, the can will just slide being pushed. So until it hits something, and then they out in the hole, they won't eat anything. So, and Penn State's helping me design make sure it's functional and test a couple of the claims that I'm making. So I'm excited about that through the Learning Factory. So and being a student entrepreneur, I get a bit of a discount there, so that's exciting. And then I'll be able to say Penn State backed these claims up. So and I'm excited about that. Like, it takes this, this will stand up to this pound of a dog, and Penn State said so.
That's credibility right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's basically where I'm at and what's brought me to the LaunchBox here.
And for what I've read, it seems to be that more and more Americans are willing to spend money on their pets too.
Oh, absolutely, Yep.
The time is right for this.
There's a recent article in the New York Times indicated that pet spending last year in 2017 was $2,316 or somewhere around there. That's a big number. So, but market research from 2016 or 2015 put pet spending at just around $300 or $400. That's a huge in just a year or two.
Okay.
So it's a huge.
It's exploding.
Yeah, it's exploding. So they like a guy told me like in California they call them fur babies. So a lot more people than ever are treating their pets as extended members of the family instead of property.
Yeah. Yeah, they're much easier. You don't have to worry about them rooting through the.
Yeah, no
trash.
kidding.
Well, surprisingly, the vets that I've interviewed said that they see the same amount of food poisoning from garbage in cats and dogs.
Really? Wow.
They see cats and dogs in the same amount. Cats like to get in when you throw their canned food away, and then get into something else. It's especially dangerous for small dogs and cats, right? Because just 2 tea bags, for instance, will kill a cat. Just consuming 2 tea bags. Now, who knows why they might eat that tea bag? We don't know. But, coffee grounds of that amount will also kill a dog, a small dog, or a cat. So, I mean, kill them, So it's a pretty big deal. And it was surprising to me to find out that vets see cats and dogs equally.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
On the issue of food poisoning. So, yeah, because you throw away like, especially chicken bones and stuff, cats. Like me, I had an anemic cat.
Okay.
So no matter what, if meat went into that trash, she was getting into it.
All right.
That was so frustrating. And that's what led me to this whole discovery is that they don't have a pet trash can.
Yeah.
You could buy a locking trash can, but no manufacturer is marketing those trash cans directly to pet owners. No kind of money back guarantee, no kind of, so, dogs are very smart, especially when you get up to, they can get in the cupboards, they can get in the refrigerators, they can, even some people, when they leave their house, they put their trash can in a whole nother room, in the laundry room or something. So it's a lot of responsibility for a pet owner. I'm trying to take that, and make it easier. So you could just, throw it away and forget about it.
So you're gonna outsmart a man's best friend with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Derek, tell me about your company. Quick tutoring. Sorry.
So it's actually no longer Click
Oh, all
Tutoring.
right.
Are we
breaking news on here?
Yeah, recent news. So I guess it's more of like a storytelling thing because I kind of stumbled upon entrepreneurship just by happenstance. So I came here from Houston, Texas, and I was just trying to get away from everything, explore something new. And then I started off as a psych major, thinking I really liked the brain. I started to like biology more, so I decided to switch my major into biology. And after doing that, I started to realize, okay, well, I'm really good at this. I'm very good at understanding these major concepts and applying the fundamental understandings and also telling people how to think about this. So I found that chemistry and biology came relatively naturally for me. So I'm also really good at educating people. So I found myself getting into learning assistant positions, teaching assistant positions, and guided study group leading positions. And students here at Penn State, whether it be in chemistry, biology, or in physics. And I started getting asked, to and those one-on-one sessions quickly evolved to being, more than one-on-one. It became, can we schedule 10? And then I had, 20 or 30 students coming to me for asking me for one-on-one sessions. And I started to realize, well, maybe I'm onto something here. Like, why are they coming to me rather than, let's say, Lion Tutors downtown or another tutoring company downtown? And so my co-founder and I, best friend, I'd go over to his apartment and we'd watch Shark Tank all the time. So he's chemie, right? And I'm bio. And here we are kind of like, oh, this would be a grandiose idea to start our own business and to be an entrepreneur. But then I came to him and was like, why am I different? Like, why can't, some of our friends are also learning assistants. Why can't they join in on this and we create a business kind of around students teaching students? Because all, places like other downtown or traditional tutoring companies, they just want someone with a degree who knows the material, but they don't know the course. They don't know that class. So I thought, well, why don't we try this out? So we got some of our friends. I created a preliminary website, and the name is by far the most stressful thing about creating a business, a service business for sure. So we started with click tutoring. And we found that clicktutoring.com was taken, but we were like, oh, let's just go with the .net. There's no trademark infringement or anything. And so we kept going with that. And then we realized, and we started talking to LaunchBox more. And then LaunchBox said, oh, that's taken. You can't do that because that's copyright infringement. So we started learning more about the ins and outs. And, I could not be more excited to have been working here for 3 to 4 months now and like you were saying before, the energy here at LaunchBox is, no matter how exhausted we are, no matter how many few hours of sleep, I always walk in, Jobe smiles on his face, and we're talking about what we got done recently, and this goes to everybody else here in LaunchBox. And so we'd come in here, and it's always just sharing ideas, and so we were able to, bring this company from just an idea company, an LLC. We were just a website before we got here, and now we're we have 15 and up tutors. We have had over 100 sessions, and we've had, I think, 30 or so students come in. So, yeah.
100% retention rate.
100% retention rate. Every student that we've had has come back at least once more.
Yeah. Happening quickly.
Yes, very quickly.
So both of you touched a little bit on how we're doing this, if I haven't mentioned, live from the Happy Valley LaunchBox. Tell me some of the specifics of what this place has done for you at helping taking this idea of yours into a reality.
I can tackle that one. So especially coming here initially, again, they have incredible resources here. They have a legal clinic, they have a trademark clinic, an IP clinic, and then you also have Lee Erickson. Okay, that's a clinic in her own, right? So
friend of the show.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I think it's not necessarily again I met a few very important people that were able to push our company into get in contact with the right people, and through Lee especially, we were able to really facilitate those connections. So I think with LaunchBox alone, if you work out of LaunchBox, if you're just here for a day, you're bound to meet someone who can help you in some manifestation. And I found that for us, it wasn't necessarily about the capital, it was more about those networking and the connections that come out of LaunchBox.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Derek on that because, just to give you an example, see, I came here after already doing a tech accelerator with Franklin. So I came into that tech accelerator with only an idea, kind of like him, but I left there with a product and a solid path to market and a very robust marketing strategy. So I was very grateful for that. And when I came here, though, I really had no one in my network, right? So, because in my circle, I'm the top of my network, so Johnstown's a really depressed town, so I spent all my time, my head down working. I really didn't develop a huge professional network in which that could help me in this venture, and the beginning of that was, of course, Ben Franklin and that type of environment, that tech accelerator, but it really began to really come to fruition out here at the LaunchBox. Remember, I've been able to put together an advisory board now. Mm-hmm. I've been able to actually add a very prominent member of this community to my board of directors. So, I started with just me, and now I have an investor, a partner, 4 board members. I'm looking for one more. You can't have that even number. I'm looking for one more.
Stalemate though.
No.
And through this connection, for instance, Liz, she's been just she's one of 2 advisors that volunteer.
Liz kissing with her?
Yeah,
she's great.
Yeah, is that my?
Yeah, most of the microphone fell off there.
My fault.
The first problem of several technical difficulties. We'll bear with us here.
Yeah.
We want to hear Jobe coming through loud and clear.
So Liz, she was I guess instrumental in what I was doing, and she's, like I said, one of 2 advisors that volunteer their time every other Thursday to come in here and give us feedback and kind of push us in the right direction. Brian, he just so happens to have a family member that's in the dog show business, you know, and his brother-in-law is part of American Kennel Club, you know, so like it's like wow, you know, like. And Liz had these connections, like we got to talk to somebody from QVC. She's put me in touch with a retiring veterinarian who I'm hoping that I can talk him into being on my board, you know, because that's what I'm missing right now for, at least in an advisory position on my advisory board. So I really need that insight from that area. She's just been instrumental in so many other things, and Lee's given me different contacts and different mentors that I can approach. So through that process, I haven't been able. One of the huge hurdles that I've come across is being able to find manufacturing for my product, right? So if you have a small product, you might pay $5,000-$10,000 in tooling costs to get that mold made, and then you can injection mold it at 20 cents, 10 cents a unit, you know. My product, $250,000 for a mold. Yeah, so now, but still $4 per unit, you know, coming out. So right now I'm producing 3D printing them, they're over $100 it cost me to make. Not to mention the investment in the 3D printer too. So with the help of Catalyst Space, I've really been able to really bring my idea, my product to life in a number of 3D printed iterations as I've been able to grow. And I do want to give Catalyst Space a huge shout out because Andrew Trexler over there has been instrumental in that side of things. He's also a member of my board. So it was been a very exciting time and process for me over there. But one of the things that was a huge hurdle was getting like that 1,000 number produced, right? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, just to get out there, get a little bit of market, you know, get that product market fit. So just to kind of prove my whole product. And I found through the LaunchBox connections here that I found a company in Winchester, Virginia, that now can do prototype tooling for me. We're thinking $30,000 to $40,000 in tooling costs, but then I get 3,000 to 4,000 units made. And it's been hard for me to find that from a big manufacturer because here's the thing: they don't make any money on the tooling. It's a one-time thing, right? So what they're looking for is to do the big tooling, $250,000, which they're still not making a lot of money because that block of steel costs a lot of money, and you know, and the work that they have to put into it. But they get to make 1 million units, so that's where they get their money they produce. So that's why I haven't been able to, and I just found this out, that's why I haven't been able to get any quotes back, any kind of estimates. So talking to manufacturers all over, you know, the country, and like I can't get any kind of response because they don't want to deal with a small company like me. So a guy called in a favor, and he reached out to the guy that was doing his, the guy I talked to, Paul D'Americo, he has over 30 patents with Rubbermaid, you know. So like with Rubbermaid in the container industry, you know, like this is so amazing, you know.
Yeah, that's you.
So so he reached out to him and called in a favor, I guess, and the guy called me like within days and said, hey, you know, what you got going on? And I told him, he was like, well, I just so happen to, like, I'm a big company now, and I've been meaning to give back, you know, not in so many words, but that's what I've been meaning to give back to entrepreneurs. I want to help out. So it's like, come on down next week and we'll talk about your design. He's like, I got very talented people here. I can help you redesign for manufacturing and stuff like that. He can do the prototype tooling. So I'm super excited about it, you know.
Yeah, should be.
And not to mention Penn State Barron campus. Jake Marsh was just here yesterday and the day before. So he runs the innovation part up there. And he's putting me in touch with a manufacturer because I like to always have a backup plan, you know, for a backup plan. You know, you can't just, you know, you've got this, what my experience in business has taught me. So he's got a manufacturer up there that's already has a history of working with student entrepreneurs to bring a product to market. So a plastics manufacturer, so I'm excited about that. So he did email introductions. I haven't returned the email yet to introduce myself, but today's the day, I've just been, busy, and I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. And so there was some research I wanted to do on the company before I reached out and stuff like that. But it's been amazing, the connections that we were able to make here. I mean, it's too bad Chevy isn't here because he has like about 5,000 more connections that he made while he was here. Right? I mean,
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like he's been all over. He's been like Hershey and New Orleans, and he's been all over the country. I mean, they're doing big stuff over there, and it's
This company's HemoGo, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just impressive to
Actually,
see
not
what
anymore, right?
everybody's doing.
He changed that name too?
Yeah, he had to change his name.
Yeah.
It was like Mao.
I can't
remember.
some kind of
Some Greek.
come play on some Greek mythology. So yeah.
So speaking of connections, if you're watching this and you want to connect with these guys and leave a question, put it in the comments. I'll ask it. But otherwise, I'm fully loaded with questions here that I can throw at you. And I was interested with hearing a little bit about the student, balancing being a student and being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought probably maybe a nice way to illustrate that would be how is this summer compared to the previous summers?
Yeah.
How much more intense were things? How much, and also probably on the flip side, how much more fulfilling has this summer been compared to past ones? What are we looking at? What's that life like?
So for me, we started our business back in like late January, and so we've got the website running and everything, but we've been formulating the idea back in November. Being also a co-founder of this business, I'm also part tutor and also a full-time student. So I was doing 2 full-time jobs and a part-time job within the full-time job. So it was very hectic in the spring of 2018. We were struggling to find time where we could both match, where we could both meet and have conversations about the business. I would always have to be studying for my last finals, and at some point you're like, okay, does this medical embryology class really gonna help me enough? Like, do I really need to invest all that effort to get that A, or can I just settle for a B? Because then again, you're like, I need to make these connections, I need to meet with these people. So it's hard to find that balance, but I think with the entrepreneurial spirit, you can always find the time. You can always, talk to someone else another day, or you can find time to, study more effectively. And fortunately, again, for my business, we're teaching, right? So we're not just teaching the material, we're also teaching the students how to learn. So in that, we're able to teach our students, well, this is how you learn. Okay, have that. I'm going to go study myself. And so I know how to study quick Spark notes and hopefully be able to apply it to an exam effectively. But I think in terms of time-wise, it's tough. It's never going to be easy because you are working full-time. But I think as long as it's a passion that you really are doing, I think any entrepreneur can succeed in following their daydream, whether it be at night or late at night or in the middle of the day or in between a coffee break or something like that.
Well, for me, as a World Campus student, it's a little bit easier, but it was still hard. I mean, for spring, for instance, like he was saying, for spring, I was in school, I was working, all the time. So, still self-employed. I closed my business in 2015 after losing, the contract that I had. But from there, I just took up and taught myself, some construction.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to know how to as a man, I thought it was important for me to know how to build stuff. Yeah. So I learned that, and it was really enlightening, and I learned a lot, and I tried to pass that on to my kids, and I decided to do that because I was consulting for a construction company and helping them get into government contracting because I have a lot of experience in that. So I was doing that kind of government contracting consulting, and in return, he kind of gave me, construction work and some knowledge and some skills and some teachings. So it was pretty interesting. But that's what I was doing when I decided to pursue this, and really, it was hard. Because I've got 4 kids at home. I'm married. I've been married. Yeah,
I'm complaining.
I've been married for 17 years now in August. August 20, forgive me, babe, 24, 26, one of those 2 days. Whew.
Close enough.
On the spot, Joe.
Yeah, one of those days. I can never remember. But yeah, I've been married 17 years, and it's been difficult to juggle everything because my wife has demands. She's on my time. My kids have demands on my time, and I want to work. And I want time for myself too, and then I have to bring this product to market. And so for summer, it was really refreshing to not have to work because, they gave you 10 grand to work on this full time. So I took the summer off from school.
Yeah.
I didn't work at all. I gave up the construction stuff that I was doing. And I'm happy to because, I just do not enjoy that. I enjoyed learning where I was, but then when you have to do it, it sucks, man. I didn't like it at all. But I think I'm in a place now where I could continue doing this full time, and it'll start paying here by the end of the year. It'll start coming to fruition and paying off. And not that I can necessarily take a salary, but my wife's been so good. She's been working. She's been taking care of the bills while I go through this, and she's been really pulling hers and my weight. It's been amazing. She's just an amazing woman. And, I don't tell her that enough, but she's really, without her, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. So that helps a lot. But to get back to your question, because, I got off into a tangent there, but.
No, it's important because from the outside looking in, sometimes you don't see those people behind the scenes who play a role in supporting the entrepreneur, the family, the significant other, the friends, all those people who said a kind word, have offered encouragement through tough times. So it's cool that you're giving the shout out.
Yeah, and my kids deserve a lot of credit too because they've been real patient with me, and they spent the first few weeks out here that I've been out here, the Summer Founders Program, they spent it out here with me.
So you temporarily relocated from Johnstown to the State College for the summer?
Well, for
part of this?
3 days a week I've been out here.
Right, yeah.
So the first 2 days I work from home, but the last day, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, I'm here every week. So, and I was bringing my kids out like on Tuesday night or Wednesday mornings, and I just come in here and tell them to go. I stay at a hotel like Quality Inn. It's not far, so they walk back and forth to the hotel and go. I've got a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 14-year-old, so. They can make it, if not survival of the fittest, sorry, but y'all should be able to make it out here, So I give them a couple $, and go, and they've been real good. They, have fun. They found the basketball courts and, did their thing out here, and now they're working. So, my wife wanted them to work so that they could pay for their school clothes this year because, I'm not working as much, so they're old enough to get a job, and they've been working their butts off, and I'm super proud of them for that. So they haven't been complaining about having to work and buy their own school clothes and stuff. They already got their $2,000 shoes, let's just say, they're $200 a pop, man. I'm like, man, I would never work. When I work for my own money, I'm finding the cheapest thing I can put is some flip flops all school year,
Absolutely.
all school year. But they work for what they want, and I respect it, and I think they've been amazing and just really supportive. My whole family, and that's kind of like what's getting me through. So that's what's helping me and keeping me from being as busy as Derek.
You got a full family, man. I tell you.
Yeah, you got it easy, Derek.
Yeah, I have it easy compared to you.
I like hearing about talking to entrepreneurs and hearing about the ways they're really extending themselves. And so I wondered you to talk a little bit about what you've been doing marketing your company. I guess since you have some knowledge of that, but it seems like your wheelhouse may be in some other areas here, tutoring and
marketing is my
All right, so you're in it then.
Yeah. I can't wait to tell you.
So much more, whether it's public relations, advertising, tell me about what your web presence is like right now, how you're using social media, how are you getting the word out, and how have you enjoyed or not enjoyed that part of it?
No, I enjoy this part. Sorry, Derek.
No, you go for it, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked because that's one of the things that I'm excited about for my company because here's the thing. So we came up with, Lee and I, well, first of all, I put together a website so I can do some testing, some analytics, get some feedback on some designs. I mocked up some designs and some things so that I can see who's interested, who's hitting the buy button, who is, what designs they're most interested in, stuff like that. But in the course of me building my website, I built my own website, and I just recently took on a partner the other day, Chris Weaver, who specializes in, he specializes. That's his wheelhouse. So he specializes in building websites. And,
What's the name of his company? We'll give him a shout out. It's,
Phase 2 or Solutions or something like that. Yeah. So he's amazing. So he came on and he's offering to handle that whole side of the business. Everything from
his company's Phase 7 Design.
Phase
Sorry
7.
to interrupt you. I wanted to get it right.
No problem. Phase 7 Designs. Yeah. So he's handling everything on that end in exchange for a small portion of the company. Something that I was more than willing to trade. So now he's basically a partner of ours, and that's really exciting for me because he sees the vision. But back to the marketing end. So our angle of this, right? So like when customers test a product, they're going to give us, how they have standard reviews on, and this is where the whole idea started from. So I thought it would be cool that when the customer tested the product for us, they would give us the review of the product from their pet's point of view, from their cat or their dog's point of view. So the dog is like,
fun idea.
yeah. So the dog is like, man, I used to always get in the garbage when and I used to have now my snack is ruined, and they're just complaining about this, and we get to see how pet owners view the personality of their dog or their cat. So it's pretty cool. But Lee helped me expand upon that, and because I was doing a blog to inform, because one of the biggest things I want to do is inform pet owners of how dangerous to the long-term health and well-being of their pet, keeping them out of the garbage. I mean, it's very important what your pets consume, but I think it's more important what they don't consume. So and I want to educate pet owners on that. And the veterinarians that I've interviewed said that's one of the main things that pet owners don't know. That's it's going to be one of my main challenges is educating them. So I wanted to develop a blog that would do that, but we're going to take a twist on the blog in which the author of the blog are going to be a dog and a cat, right? So we have Nelson, the blog dog, and Colette, the copycat, right? Because she's writing copy, right? Yeah. So
this is brand content.
Yeah, so we want to build that out. I've hired Hello Social, lady named Ellen.
Yeah, the Belfont.
Yeah. So I've hired her.
Another friend of the show.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep interrupting you.
That's okay. Yeah. So we're going to. She's going to help me build. She loves the idea. She's going to help me build that whole thing out organically, which is the best way to do it. Let it take on, let it catch on organically through social media. And she seems like she's fully capable of taking it on. She's even going to handle developing the blog and writing the blog and just that whole angle, that whole brand identity. She's going to be in charge. So I'm trusting her with a lot. But from her portfolio, I think that she's well in her capabilities. So I'm excited about it. She's going to be in charge of doing that and kind of drawing customers in from that angle. And the dog will be like the obedient one because, dogs are easier to train. He's been to obedience school. So this is their backstory. We're going to develop a whole backstory for him. The cat is like more mischievous. She thinks that pets should chase cars. They should get in the garbage and they should, chew shoes and stuff like that. And the dog is going to be telling her why that they shouldn't because it's dangerous this and this and this and this.
So the personas.
Yeah. So we have that whole thing. So I'm excited about that because it gives my whole brand an identity. Because it's a trash can. How do you build a community around a trash can? People only replace their trash can every 4 years. Or when it gets too dirty. 72% of Americans, replace their trash can when it's just uncleanable, and the rest just wait about 4 years. So it's really like, how do you make this interesting for people? And so we eventually want to get up to like where we have guests on for our blog. We're interviewing a guest, like say Sylvester Stallone's dog. You know what I mean? Of course, we're not interviewing, but we're just saying that we are. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be pretty cool, to like add celebrity dogs and pets and stuff like that from what we can find from the news, or maybe even a real celebrity will be interested in like let us do something in that way. So yeah, we want to build that whole thing out. And we got big plans for that. So that's why I was excited to say that, because I think that's going to be a real key issue in marketing our brand.
Yeah, creating a lot of the content around it, giving something of value to the people who visit the website, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Derek, what are you putting out there?
So again, very new to this. I don't have nearly as much knowledge as Jobe does, but our entire philosophy again is that students are teaching students, and our tutors always meet our students on campus. So we wanted to typically stay with our marketing focuses on campus. So our first, I'll go through my renditions of what we knew and what we know now. It's comical in hindsight, but it's the stepping stones that you get whenever you're American Dream. You're just figuring it out as you go. And so we first started again as Click Tutoring, and we started marketing in the hub. And we were handing out flyers, and then every person that came by, we tried to give them a 2-minute pitch. Every single student. And so we would be like, oh, but don't you want to, and as every single time, we realized, okay, well, that was really inefficient. But we got
flyer in someone's hand at the hub.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to them for a few minutes.
Exactly. So we found that was pretty challenging. We also bought this huge wheel that I still have in my room now, and we had the students come up and spin it, and then whatever they got the merchandise. That was the big draw. So we think like that was probably the reason why we were successful then. But in hindsight, the pitch probably wasn't the best idea. And so we found that wasn't the best. So we also were going through a lot of changes with our company. So we went from Click Tutoring to Tutor Noodle, and now we're Tutoration. And we
love Tutor Noodle.
Yeah, I'm just taken, man. Every brick and mortar store, family mom and pop shop. That's all. There's so many tutoring companies that have the LLC. So we were going through a little bit of pivoting, not like a drastic pivot, just kind of like how do we want to pay our tutors? How are we supposed to market to them? And so Remy and I were trying to figure that out for a while. And then once we kind of set it in stone, we got the logo done, we got the trademark. So we were like, let's go full force. So actually it was just last Monday that we relaunched, and I took me and a few of my friends, and we were like, let's do what we call T-Rex marketing, right? But it's supposed to be guerrilla marketing, so we did T-Rex marketing. And we were like, okay, I had some insight into the LEAP students there, and they said, okay, where all of our target customers are, they're either gonna be in Pollock or the Hub, and if they're in Pollock, they're gonna be leaving dinner. So we can hand out flyers to them when they're leaving dinner to go back to their dorm. So we said, okay, let's go there around 5 and then stay till around 7. And so we get there, and by happenstance, there happened to be a DJ there. So the DJ was just playing music, and I walk up to him like, oh, is there an event here? Like, are we gonna have to leave? And he goes, no, I'm just doing this for fun. So I'm like, awesome. So we set up a little game for the students to play where they were playing water pong. So if they made 1 cup, then they got 2 things of merchandise. They got 2 or 3. If they got all the cups, then they got a 50% off coupon and all the merchandise that they wanted. And so we just handed out merchandise, and that went so well. It went more surprised than I was, because again, we did that one hub, a few months ago, back in March, and we maybe got like 20 numbers or 20 emails, and now we had over 60. My entire sign-in sheet was filled out. So I ran out of merchandise. I'm like, okay, well, this is what's working. So in terms of marketing, again, I've also been collaborating with Lee and Jake Serby. Or Jack Serby, about just some marketing strategies, because I did not expect myself to be in the entrepreneurship world at all, so I didn't take any marketing classes, I didn't sign up for anything. So I've just started reading some books that he's been recommending, and it makes a world of a difference to have a mentor who knows what they're talking about. And then he came to talk to all of us once for one of our summer founder dinners, and I immediately, there was a light bulb moment. I was like, it's the customer. And I can't explain it, I can't articulate it, but there's a marketing mindset that you have to get in whenever you're starting to execute your business, because we've just been creating and reinventing, but then finally we got our new rendition of our website, we got the PayPal buttons to work, everything worked. So we're like, let's execute. So then Jake was the perfect person to to be there, to like offer all the books that I should read, offer all the strategies I had. And so now we're implementing things like the Confidence, like just there's just so many different marketing things that I'm kind of trying to run through to see which ones would work. And again, LaunchBox has been a huge, tremendous help with that. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I did not think I'd love marketing, but that's a huge part of the business. It's a lot of fun.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like you're getting into the psyche of another, your target customer. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, I love the energy of you two guys, and I wondered, let's keep tapping into that. Give your advice to somebody, they don't have to be a student, who has this idea but has never done anything about it. How would you get them to that next point, to the point where you two are right now, where you're doing real things to bring this in, bring your idea into reality?
Yeah.
How would you light a fire under somebody to get them to follow a similar path?
Here's the thing, like, if you have an idea, here's something that I always think about, a saying that I always think about is, thinking about doing something is a lot different than doing something you've been thinking about, right? So you can either be thinking about doing something, or you could be doing something that you're thinking about, that you were thinking about. And if you're not on the second half of that saying, then you might as well go to work. Put your hat on, put it down, pull it down over your eyes, and keep your head down, and and go to work. Because if you have an idea and you haven't done something, entrepreneurship just might not be for you. And I'd hate to see you, because it's really hard. So I'd hate to see you get into this and and really not have that. You'd be risking a lot of money, time, a lot of effort, and you find out this is just not for you, because you're going to give up quick.
Yep.
So if you have an idea and you want to get it off the ground, then you should have done something. If you've just had one conversation with somebody about it.
Yep.
If you've just read something, did a little research on, that's doing something. If you haven't done anything, not even a Google search, this wasn't for you. So it's kind of like I just don't want to see somebody that I don't want to light a fire under somebody just for them to get burnt. Because you like the fire just so they could get up off their butt and get moving, right? So if you're just gonna sit in the fire, so that's the way that I would approach that question. So but for the other people that have done something, it's a matter of reaching out to the right people. So when I had this idea, I had no idea this whole entrepreneurship community existed.
Yep.
I didn't know. So the support really came from, just small accomplishments. Set a small goal. Like, one of my first goals was to email as many people as I could about getting advice on bringing a product to market. I have no experience in manufacturing, and that really was like a scary thing for me, because everything that I've done, I've had a lot of experience in. So, cleaning and industrial cleaning, environmental cleanup, I'm an expert, literally, I'm a professional. But in this realm of business, I have nothing, but then I was thinking, like, something that I read in Napoleon Hill's book, something, and that is that specialized knowledge is one of the easiest and cheapest things that you can come across in the world. So if I don't know it, I can always hire it. I can always bring it on into the company. So what isn't really predominant out there is leadership. And I think that that's something that any entrepreneur needs to look within themselves and see, can you lead a team?
Yeah.
That is the key to being successful in entrepreneurship, is being able to lead other people and being able to also be led also, because until you know what you don't know, you need someone to teach you, right? So you have to be willing. So some people are just really cocky and really, really hard to be led anywhere. They just think they know it all.
Stubborn,
Yeah, really stubborn. That's the word I'm looking for. So tutor.
But you guys need to launch a company together. You gotta go to a good video.
But that's it in a nutshell, Bill. So it's just a matter of make sure you're able to lead a team, make sure you're comfortable with speaking in front of people and giving advice and giving instruction and telling people what you need. You can't be afraid to ask for something. And those things, if you look inside yourself and think that those are things that you can do, then that's what you need to start doing. The things that you can do, just go do them. So if you can talk to people, go talk to people. If you're good at composing, emails or narrative, do it. Write emails, write letters. Then, if you're not comfortable talking, but what you are comfortable in doing, because you could accomplish stuff in business through memos and stuff like that. You don't always have to address people, verbally. So if you can communicate, whatever form of communication that you are good at, do that. And get the word out there, get some advice back, find a mentor. I went to a SCORE program first, talked to somebody about manufacturing, really good guy. He has 20 years in plastics manufacturing business. He taught me everything I know about, injection molding and things like that. So I came into this and at least having that, knowledge. From there, I just happened to find the LaunchBox. I came out here. It's so funny because when I first came out here to LaunchBox, Lee kind of squashed my whole dream. Right? Because she's like, well, what kind of customer discovery have you done? And I'm like, I've got all these surveys, right? I've surveyed all these people to see if, because I know I'm a marketing student, so I know the general gist, but I'm only 2 years in, so I don't know everything, but I know generally what I need to be doing. So I had all this market research that I got from, resources and that I've been able to come across through Penn State. And I had a big portfolio, and I did some customers, some interviews and stuff. But Lee was like, "Well, you're asking world peace questions, though. Who's not going to say that they don't want their dog to die from getting in the trash? Who's going to say, oh yeah, let my dog die? I'm like, oh yeah.
Pepper needed to go.
Yeah. So she really just squashed my whole I talked to 60, 70 people at a time and asked them all the same question. And would you pay for something that kept? Of course, yeah. Sure thing, would do, yeah. So I had no market research, no real substantial, customer discovery. I had a lot of market research. I had no real customer discovery. So that was kind of honestly, don't tell Lee this, but I didn't like her that much at that point in time. I'm like, let me get out of here. So I went to the Altoona LaunchBox, right? And that's what, So I went to the Altoona LaunchBox.
That's fantastic.
And I got over there with Catalyst Space and them, and they had suggested that I went to this big idea contest. And I just want to give this story because this is how things happen, and I want other entrepreneurs out there to know things will just start snowballing. All you have to do is put yourself in a position up at the top of the hill. And then tuck your head between your legs and just start rolling. And that's how it works. So I went to the big idea contest. I met a guy named Jerry there who ran that chapter of Ben Franklin Technologies. And they encouraged me to sign up for the Tech Accelerator. I did. I was accepted. Went there, worked in the LaunchBox, worked at the Catalyst Space there for the 8-week program. Went there with only an idea and a stack of market research and left there with a product, proof of concept, like I told you, path to market, and
that's awesome.
Friends, good friends from everybody that was in the group. One of those people that were in the group that actually won the contest there, he's my first investor and partner in the project, in my business. So he's going with me out there. I just got accepted to a HSN, Home Shopping Network's American Dream Academy. So it's like a 3-day boot camp, and then at the end I get to pitch the HSN's panel. So I'm excited about that, but he's going with me in there, so everything's, falling in play, but that's how it works. It just starts rolling, but you got to put yourself at the top of the hill first. If you don't climb up the back of the hill to get at the top, you can't roll down,
Yeah, and it seems like the process here really is at the beginning to really poke as many holes as possible.
Exactly,
in your plan, and then build you up.
Yeah.
And then from there, and make it foolproof. So I guess you got to start with that, the tough love.
Yeah, you want to be the first one to find them.
And I'm by no means successful yet, so I haven't sold one can, I don't even have a full-size prototype yet. Should be just about getting done, but just the fact that that people are validating my concept, my idea, and if you have in your thought process that you like, for me, I never lose, so I've always went into everything like that, no matter what. if I do this, I'm not going to lose. So something's coming to market. You know, so I'm going to bring something to market. I don't know what it's going to be. It might not be a trash can. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm bringing a product to market. I'm going to do this. So, you know, that's how you have to go into it thinking. Like, you only fail if you quit. So. That's a couple, you know, and then I'm sure Derek can expand on that.
Yeah,
so.
Derek, give us that advice.
So, I mean, I think Jobe really hit it on the head. Like, you kind of have to put yourself in a position of, you know, non-stubbornness. You got to be willing to kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit so you can prepare yourself to climb that mountain. I think with my experience, it was having a partner initially, because again, I was definitely not an entrepreneur, right? I was education. I was looking at educating jobs. I was looking to go to medical schools. I was a completely different track. And then within a month or so, I completely changed where I was going. With having that partner, we were able just to bounce ideas off each other. You know, him and I were like, okay, well, what if we tried this? And we would try it. You know, we never would say, you know, no, we're not going to do that. We'd say, well, how can we improve that? And you kind of have to have that a different mentality, because whenever you're working like a normal job, if you're working a job or you're doing your own thing, you're not like a CEO or a co-founder, you're kind of being told what to do most of the times. And with being a co-founder, you're kind of like being a founder of a business, you're the one that has to say, this is what should happen. This is what needs to change. And that was a huge mindset change. You know, you're going from this, oh, I've been doing this formulated thing for my entire life, but now I'm completely flipping that. You know, it was a weird dynamic switch for me. I think if someone's trying to start their own business, I would say, firstly, exactly what Jobe said, tell someone. Go talk to a family member. Go talk to friends. Go talk to strangers. Go to a cafe and just say, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? And of course, especially with families and maybe even some strangers, you're probably going to get, oh, that's a great idea. But, you know, go to someone who actually knows a thing or two.
You need that, though, because it encourages you.
Yeah.
You know, you need that. You need that. You need to have that real, like, confidence. You have to be like, oh, yeah, everybody loves it. Yeah. Oh, you know, you got to have that.
I mean, I went to Remy under the ruse of, I want him to tell me it's stupid. I want him to tell me, these are the reasons why it's not going to work. And he said, no, this is going to work. And I was like, all right. I have no, you know, it's kind of the same thing, right? I was like, that was the confidence, because you know, he said it was a good idea, and we looked it up and everything. And again, I wish it was like, oh, if you have a passion and you will do it, whatever. It's more about, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone, like being on, going to different conferences, having conversations on podcasts. This is not what I'm used to doing, right? But I'm doing it because I'm loving learning something new and experiencing something new. So I think you really have to have a mentality of, what's out there, what's new, what can I learn more about myself, and that can help myself and also the business grow simultaneously. Is if you're stubborn, or if you're, you know, a no type of person, you know, entrepreneurship's not your thing, which is fine. Like, if the whole world was entrepreneurs, then something would be horribly wrong. But it does take a mentality switch for a lot of people, you know. But I think actually Lee, what we were talking about, on Wednesday at our dinner, she hit it right on the head. There's 4 different groups of entrepreneurs. You have the Steve Jobs and Bill Gates of the world, who they can do it themselves, right? Those are the most successful CEOs. You know, self-motivated. They don't need anybody's help, but they'll do it themselves.
Build a network from nothing.
Exactly. And then you have, on the other side of the spectrum, what Mark Cuban calls entrepreneurs, right? So the people who are like, I have this idea, but I don't want to do anything about it. So those are the entrepreneurs. You know, you can't. They're just not going to, they don't have that mentality to be able to lead a group of people, to be able to speak in public, to be able to verbalize their product, to, you know, or whatever it be, but they don't have that self-motivation per se, to bring something of their idea to market. And then you have where most entrepreneurs are, which is in between those two, right? So Jobe and I are in between those two. Jobe's on the other side. He's very, very self-motivated. He's like, you give him something, he'll do it no matter what, you know? And I think working alongside a group like that, again, find that community, find that entrepreneurship community, because when you do, it makes it so much easier. Like if I didn't enjoy LaunchBox, I would be working in my apartment doing the same thing. It would be redundant and be mundane, but I come in here and I hear crazy Jobe stories. I hear, like being in an entrepreneur, like in the environment of LaunchBox, it's not like I'm working. It's just, you're working alongside, your friends and some random strangers that you meet, and I'm randomly pitching to some friends of mine, and it's just a lot of fun. Like I ran into a few guys at Champs, and we ended up talking here at LaunchBox the next day. It's just the community is really, really interesting, and I've met so many more people, and I love meeting people. So meeting, you just meet so many people doing this.
Bill, I got to tell you, the probably the most beneficial thing for any entrepreneur is probably what Derek just said, like being in that environment around these people, because like where I'm from is literally crabs in a barrel. No one, if they see you succeed, they want to pull you down somehow, some way. No one wants to see you to like, if it's almost like they think when you're doing good, it makes them do bad, Like, and it shouldn't be that way, I'm the type of guy, I want everybody to see, I don't need you to fail for me to be successful.
Yeah.
But people somehow think that, and I guess it's I'm from Johnstown, so it's a really depressed town, so it's not a lot of opportunity there, it's a high crime rate. It's one of the reasons why I bring my kids out here with me, is because I don't want them running the streets all summer without dad's supervision out there, so it's a community in which, people say they want you to do well, but the minute you do, they don't want to support. They don't want to, they talk bad about you behind your back. They just do anything to pull you down. So it was so refreshing to be around other entrepreneurs that really have your back and really want you to do good, really want you to, they share their ideas. Like, they don't just keep it to themselves. Like, oh, I think this will work for your company. And, maybe I take that idea, maybe I don't, but it's awesome that you even just took the time to really devote, like, and really, like, center on me and my project and helping me do well. That's, like, unheard of, in my circle before then, So that's one of the things that was so amazing about that. So I think really it comes down, like, the two things that, to really light that fire, I think, like you said, I can't light it, but if they do these two things, one, they got to become a doer.
Yeah,
right?
That's a big one.
You got to become a doer. You don't have to be born a doer, but you can decide that, okay, and say it like, well, I'm a doer. Just say that to other people when you talk to them. I'm going to get it done because I'm a doer. So you start believing that, and the second thing is be around other people, like-minded individuals.
Yep.
Those are the two things that will light that fire. Listen to a podcast or hearing, me and Derek talk won't light that fire, most likely. But if you do those two things, that'll light the fire that you need.
Yep, absolutely. I think, again, LaunchBox has been a tremendous community. Like, I can't stress that enough.
Yeah,
If any of you guys are wanting to start your own idea, come visit LaunchBox. Talk to Lee. Lee will tell you about your idea.
Sorry, Lee. We know you're busy. You've got to help the world. Sorry. You've got to share it.
Well, I want to wrap up things shortly and actually let you guys get back to work. I'm sure you have other things to do. And I want to say, we do have one comment from James Tierney, who you guys both know well, and he's offering his help because he has experience in both education and tutoring. So he's worked on the Pets I Met app
nice.
through
Yes,
the LaunchBox. So he's been listening, so we thank him. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Last thing, I want to give you guys both a chance to plug away.
Okay.
Websites, social media for both your companies and personally, put it all out there. Let people know how they can learn more about what you're doing, learn more about you.
Okay.
Yeah, I could use any kind of feedback. I have a Facebook page called Proud Pets. So I tried a little Facebook hack, try to start a community page and then switch it to like a business page, but guess what? Facebook does not like that. So they didn't let me switch that to a business page, but I have a pretty large community page, 16,000 followers. So you can give me feedback on the things I post. Check out my websites because I really need feedback on those. I have 2 up right now that are just created by me, and then I'll soon have my main website up. But if I get feedback on these 2 websites, I'll know how to move forward with Chris and my main websites. One of them is the LiveFirstCompany.com. That's TheLiveFirst company.com. And the other one is MyPawProof, MyPawProof.com. So check those out and give me some feedback on social media. That'd be awesome.
And then, so we just relaunched our business. So check us out at www.tutoration.com, Tutoration. We'll
Awesome
be
logo, awesome name. I love it.
we'll be marketing on campus a lot. We're going to be hopefully working with the Happy Valley Communications Club. So you'll probably be seeing them repping a lot of our logos. It's a big blue tee. But yeah, check us out at www.tutoration.com. We're looking for more tutors, and we're also looking for students. So if you need help in a course, please go there, and our tutors will meet you on campus same day or in a week, whichever one you prefer, because I know you guys have finals coming up soon. And yeah, if you're looking to tutor, we pay you well. So apply online.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Bill.
Really
Yeah,
appreciate
It's been
you
a
having
pleasure.
us. I
Thank
really
you.
do.
Thanks to everyone who watched. Happy Valley Hustle podcast is the first and third Wednesday of each month, and we'll be packaging this episode for a later podcast. But right now, you can get an early sneak peek by watching this Facebook Live video. So thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.